Hello everyone, it's a great pleasure to discuss with you the new accessory called RF Touch completing Mona Lisa lasers. You know that life expectancy for women is, thank goodness, longer than centuries ago, and so when they reach the menopause, they still have 20-30 years on average as a life expectancy, and so it's crucial to live in the best way for those decades. As you can see from the slide, not only the female population, the worldwide female population is increasing in size, but also life expectancy is way higher, and so it means that there is a huge market for our systems to be present. We know that menopause can be either natural or induced by lack of production of hormones due to missing ovaries or due to drug-induced suppression and so on and so on. So, but anyhow, in any case, we are dealing with vulvovaginal atrophy, nowadays renamed genitoourea syndrome of menopause, that is characterized by vaginal or vulval dryness, burning, dyspareunia, lower urinary tract symptoms of dysuria, urgency, and frequency. So when there is a decline in estrogen levels in women, we can appreciate vaginal dryness, morphological alterations of the epithelium that gets thinner, and then we have a decrease of vaginal lactobacilli presence, and so the pH becomes basic. The fact that, as you can see, the epithelium gets thinner, it means that it becomes more susceptible to trauma. So we have bleeding, we have dryness, we have pain during sexual intercourse. And in synthesis, in this slide, we see the differences between a healthy vagina and a postmenopausal vagina. So there is a lack of folds or rugae, we have less blood circulation, and we have atrophy in general, so lack of rugosity. What we have seen in our investigations since scratches and identified is the fact that we have to address the energy over the mucosa, because in the epithelium there are no glands to stimulate, but the epithelium is a film protecting the mucosa, and it needs to get thinner, and then exfoliate to feed then the lactobacilli, and to prevent external agent to come inside the vaginal wall, vaginal canal, and starts infections. So we need in that way to close doors with the presence of lactobacilli. So this is the change affecting pH, that from acid becomes more and more basic, and so again it is open door for infections. And infections are, as you can read there, responsible for nasty vaginal smell. Another slide that is depicting the situation is this one. So you see different estrogen levels, different epithelium thickness, presence of glycogen, pH, how it changes, and the population of microorganisms present in the vaginal canal. Only lactobacilli. In postmenopause we have a mixed presence. We started from scratches again in 2008, moving our technology from dermatology and aesthetic surgery into the gynecological market. As you know, these are the two machines able to host a Mona Lisa scanner, and the idea was to deliver on target, this time the vaginal canal, the fractionated beam that was so famous and so successful over the skin in dermatology, targeting this time the mucosa in order to stimulate collagen and hydrate the turgid mucosa. Again, just to recap, increase of collagen determines better mechanical support. Increase of acid mucopolysaccharides in the crown matrix is improving the mucosal hydration, so we have more presence of nutrients and hormones. And then we have an increased presence of glycogen that determines an increased activity of lactobacilli with pH that becomes decreases and so becomes acid. And all of these conditions determine a vaginal health restoration. In 12 years, we are very proud to count almost 60 publications covering different conditions and coming from all over the world. It is very important to give consistency to the technology under a safety and efficacy standpoint, but also under predictability in the treatments that you want to deliver on patients, because they can also be delegated to someone in your staff customers, because they are really simple. So the most important part is the anamnesis, but then treatments, as you know, are very simple to be easy to be delivered. But we wanted to move forward because the market is requesting additional indications, and because CO2 is missing some benefits to certain conditions. Because of the physics related to the CO2 wavelength. So we wanted to create an addendum, a complementary technology that expands the possibility of Mona Lisa Touch into the gynecological market. And specifically, RF Touch has been designed to treat vaginal laxity in a non-surgical application, to treat labia majora and minora hypertrophy, and also to address energy over the mild stress, urinary incontinence, and related symptoms. This is our proposal. Is a probe with integrated temperature control that can deliver up to 50 watts, is moved by a 500 kilohertz frequency, and has a built-in also, as you can see, cutoff temperature of 45 degrees. Then everything is delivered in sterile packages, and the probe is single use. Please notice in the presence of the five notches, so this graduated scale that helps you during the treatment. This is the hardware. So new systems on order will have, of course, if you order the RF, also the RF probes. Otherwise, the minimum is to get the laser plus the Mona Lisa scanner plus this box that ends with two cables, black cables. One feeding the scanner, the other one is instead for the RF probe. That, of course, can be purchased later on as well. For systems in the field, there is the possibility to order a specific kit that includes the box, the new box, the software, and some RF probes. So what you have to change is just the software, replacing the TIS box here, because the existing one comes with only one wire, while you need two cables, and then the job is done. Then, replacing the software, this is the interface that you can operate. So is quite intuitive, is very simple, apparently complicated, but then very easy to be set and to be used. So we have the possibility to measure constantly the actual treatment time in the therapeutic interval, and then we have a temperature low, a temperature high, in between 35 and 45 degrees Celsius, that can be adjusted with steps of 1 degree Celsius. Then in timer we have T count, that is counting the temperature between 35 and 45, and represents the threshold from where to start counting the actual treatment time. Here is 39, so below 39 doesn't count, above 39, beyond 39 starts counting. Time instead is the duration of the treatment, and here it lasts for 5 minutes. Then practically some general rules that we have developed in our trials. We have to split the vaginal cavity in 4 sectors, up, down, left and right, to be covered according to the protocol and patient sensitivity, and every time we set power, the max cutoff temperature, the therapeutic interval, and the time. We have, of course, to apply ultrasound gel over the electrodes, and if it is too cold for patients, without touching the tissues, you can warm it up by activating the RF for a few seconds. Then, similar to Mona Lisa, with the tip of this probe you touch the cervix and you select one of the 4 sectors, up, down, left and right, that you want to treat according to the protocols and the anamnesis. You take note of the penetration depth, like in Mona Lisa, thanks to the graduated scale, so the 5 notches that we have seen before. We press the foot switch and we activate the RF and keep the probe in movement from the right to the left, so back and forth. We cover evenly that sector at that depth. Once the selected treatment time is over, we retract the probe 1 mark and we repeat again the above step until we have covered the entire vaginal canal, if we are treating, of course, the vaginal canal. Then, if it is needed because of patient sensitivity and so on, we can apply additional gel, or in case of discomfort, move faster the probe, reduce the temperature, reduce the RF power. From a safety standpoint, we have also added acoustic warnings. So if the electrodes are not in contact with the vaginal tissue, the device will start beeping louder. If the detected temperature is higher than the temperature set, the device will start beeping louder and stop the RF emission until it decreases below the threshold. So on board there is a lot of safety for patients and for our users. Some proposed protocols: stress urinary incontinence in atrophic patients. You see that it is always worth to mix the 2 technologies on board of a fully equipped machine. So Mona Lisa first, to improve all the symptoms and to get all the better conditions that we are familiar with, and then after 4 to 6 weeks start using the RF touch with these proposed parameters that, again, this represents starting points from where develop for the users their own expertise. Non-atrophic patients, if we want to treat stress urinary incontinence, again, one Mona Lisa treatment first, so the CO2 first, in order to improve the healthiness, the wellness of the vaginal canal, anyhow. Then we wait 4 to 6 weeks and we deliver RF touch. Similar protocols: vaginal laxity in atrophic patients, vaginal laxity in non-atrophic patients. Please notice again 3 treatments of Mona Lisa in presence of atrophy, 1 Mona Lisa treatment in non-atrophic patients. Then vaginal laxity and SUI in atrophic patients, vaginal laxity and SUI in non-atrophic patients. So more or less we have covered all the possibilities. Then we have competitors. Our competitors are mainly InMode, that is missing power, so we are more effective, we can go deeper, we can stimulate more, and we have a better control of the treatment efficacy, because we have a therapeutic window of customization possibility, something that instead InMode is missing. The other one is Termiva. Termiva has less power, more or less the frequency is the same. They work at a higher, they can work also at a higher temperature, and this can be dangerous. Then it's a monopolar, so you don't know where the RF goes, and so bipolar in general is a safer approach. And then they don't have controls of the treatment efficacy, so there is also here something missing. So thanks a lot for your attention, and wishing you all and your beloved ones the best from DECA team. Take care.